What's some of the first questions you should be asking as a trader when you come to market? Well, the first question I ask is, where's me coffee? Because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee, and he does. Let me take a quick slurp. So why do I look at a coffee first? Well, it actually slows me down a little bit. Means I can just chill out, read the news, and look at the charts objectively. Now, that is one question, but it's not the most important question. See, let me kind of put some context into this and show you where all this comes from. So I did a little video a while ago, waiting wins, most traders freeze. Have a look for it. It's a good video. And it's about not chasing markets. You know, it's looking at the structure, looking at the overall view of the market. Which way is it going? Why is it going that way? And then what am I going to do about it? Okay. And there's a little sort of set of comments come in because I answer everybody. You know, if you put a comment in, I think if you're good enough to comment, I'm good enough to answer. And it's likewise if you contact me through email. Go on my website, scruffytrader.com. You see my contact details. I'll always speak to you. I'll always give you my time. Why? Because I think I should. But in this set of questions, and I'll give a little salute to Hello there, asking about DCA and fib levels and everything. They're not the holy grail, but they are sort of very crucial to my trading. I'm very big on Fibonacci and I'm very big on DCA because I know how it works and why it works. But the one thing that I'm more interested in is something none of you ask about, and it's ROI, return on investment. Because I come from a business background, everything needs a return. Now, the bit that I'm pulling up here is down at the bottom saying I've been messing around with trading for 4 years, and next week I'm going to forget risk reward and I'm just going to go with Fibonacci DCA. Okay, that kind of concerns me to a degree because first of all, if you've been messing around, by definition you're not really putting any effort into it. This is the only thing that not only can reward you very well, it can also damage you. So if you're messing, might sound hard, but you're wasting your time. You have to do the job. If you treat it like a job, it'll pay you like a job. Now, DCA, Fibonacci, levels, market structures, all these different terms that you hear are all just individual little parts of trading. But the first thing you've got to do is start with the basics. Now, if you've been messing around for 4 years and you're getting nowhere, the first thing I would say is you need to get educated, because trying to figure it out on your own just by the odd video here, there and everywhere, well, you'll still be messing around in 4 years' time. Buy yourself at least a book and go through it fully, you know. And I'm not saying just go buy courses and one thing and another. They can accelerate. But what I am saying is put the effort in on your education. Don't just flick from one to the next, wasting your time. And you'll certainly waste your money, which leads to the questions that I'm about to ask. The first question you ever ask before you go into a trade is, can I afford it? And that's as simple as it gets. You should know instinctively whether you can afford that trade, yes or no. If the answer is no, you do not take the trade, period. All right? Because why? You can't afford it. So therefore you make a very bad decision. And if you make a bad decision, well, then all merry hell breaks loose. Kill the trade too early. You'll oversize it and kill the account. So if you can't afford it, don't trade it. The next question, which is more important, and it leans over onto the RR. I don't follow RR. Risk reward to me, I think, is rubbish. It is the perfect sales pitch. Okay? You're shit at your job, but you're going to get paid, because risk reward is sold on, you put one unit on, like a small unit, to get a big unit, and you only have to have a very low win rate. Now, when you're looking at swing trading, I kind of go with it to a degree, but it's still got to come down to, can I afford it? The question for ROI is this: is it worth it? Is it worth the amount of money I'm going to get on the front end? In other words, how much I'm going to get paid, as to what I'm going to lose on the back end, how much I'm going to lose. So the first question is, can I afford it? Yes, I can afford this trade. How much can I afford? Well, let's just say you look at a market structure and you've got to bear it to a certain point. And that certain point can be a level or a swing point, you know, either way. But if the market goes against you, it is going to test them. Now, I work on two. One of them's hypothetical. In other words, it's a mental stop. The other one is a hard stop. So I have an opportunity to get out at my own. And if I can't, the machine will do it for me. But I've still got to weather the storm till it gets there. Now, if I look at that, you should easily be able to calculate it because you know roughly where you're getting in. So the guys in the squad will know what I'm talking about here when I say I look at worst case scenario. I look at my worst entry point that I think I'm happy with, and the stop is always in the same place anyway, you know. So the closer I can get to the stop, the better it is, but I'm working on a worst case scenario. And then that way I know roughly what the distance is from point of entry to point of exit. And then I can work out exactly how much that trade costs. That's where it ends. So let's just keep the figures simple. I'm on £1 a point and the stop is 50 points away. Well, that's going to cost me 50 quid. I'm not looking at how many pips it is or anything like that, you know, because there's no point. Work it in money and go, that costs 50 quid. The question I've got to ask myself is, can I afford to lose 50 quid on the account I've got? Well, if I've got 100 quid, no, it's too much. What if I've got 2 or 3 grand? Well, then yeah, 50 quid against a couple of grand. I'm not going to like it, but it's not going to kill the account. So yeah, I can afford that. Right, that's where that ends. I've agreed to the trade. I've agreed to it. I've agreed to pay £50 on that trade. Right. Now what I've got to do is look at where the other side is. How much will I get if this runs for me? Well, if it's 50 quid again, I'm on one-on-one. So, yeah, it's worth it. If I lose 50, I'll gain 50. What if it's slightly out? What if my target is 25? From the first entry? Well, it's sort of, maybe, possibly. Well, I'll get 25 quid. What's that as a return on investment? Well, actually, it's 50 quid. And then 10 minutes later, you get 25 quid back and your 50 quid. Yeah, that's reasonably okay, as long as you know that the trade is going to be correct. If you don't know the trade's going to be correct, you can still make it a one-on-one scenario by breaking up the position and staging backwards. And if you stage backwards, you'll find that you can make that become one-on-one. Now, it's very easy. I do it through a third entry point. Now, from my third entry point, whatever I'm going to lose, I gain on the other side. So I'm one-on-one from position 3. That, if that works out, or it's better than one-on-one, it's worth it. Because if it just runs for me out the gate, well, just so happened I called it perfectly right. But the way I look at it is this. And this is the argument I have all the time. And it's why I talk about education. You need to know what your education is. And if you haven't put any education into yourself, trading ain't for you. It really isn't. You know, you can watch as many 15-minute videos as you like. You're not going to be a trader. You've got to educate yourself. I've spent a fortune on my education over the years, you know, and I wouldn't like to put a figure on it. I have in the past because I sat and worked it out and I was like, holy shit. Because an education is all of your losses, it's certain lengths of time, it is the courses and seminars that you go to. Oh, talking of things that come, he is winking. Oh, you got clothes on today, have you?
Yeah, the clothes.
She normally wanders in naked, boys and girls. You know, not to sort of give you a lot of thrill. I think she does it just to tease me. Is that right?
Right. I never brought coffee.
You brought coffee as well? Oh, I like you. You go far in this world. Straight off the end of my foot. Hey, play with you, Willie. She loves that, Willie. Yeah, we have that for knobhead of the week. Anyway, lost my train of thought now. See what you do to me, woman. See the effect that you have on me. I'm talking about risk, reward, and ROI, return on investment. So your return on investment's great, isn't it? Look at me. I'm mint, aren't I? That's one of them cases where it's like, no, I wish I'd give it back. No. Yes, put your education in, because otherwise you'll be losing. Now, what I'm talking about that is the argument that I have is most people just put everything on a trade, one trade. I never do that. I look at the last 100 trades. So if one happened to run for me, fine, but it's just 1 in 100. And the question I would ask is, how many times have you gone to market, pressed the button, and the market hasn't even looked back 3 pips, which is basically a spread and a pip or 2 over, and then ran straight to a target of 20, 25 pips? So 3 pips against you, 25 pips for you. And in 100 trades, drop it in the comments. I'd be interested to see how many times did that happen. Now, for me, it's not that often. So I know by definition the market moves against me. So if it's moving against me most of the time, wouldn't it be nice to capitalize on that? That's what DC is. It's what madness is. Capitalizing on the fact the market will move against you before it moves for you. And if it happens to just win straight out the gate, outstanding. That's just 1 in 100. Cherish your thoughts. Cherish your thoughts. Is there anything in there today?
Yeah.
Like, you got your mouth full again, have you?
Apple.
Yeah, it's not the first time you've had your mouth full, is it?
I can't speak.
You can't speak. That makes a freaking change. Normally, do you know what happened yesterday, boys and girls? Do you know what happened, right? She was rattling on, as she always does, because she's like a machine gun when she starts. And then it's like, oh my God, right? And I sort of was looking at it, and she just stared at me and says, "You've yawned 4 times. Am I boring you?" I said, "No, there were failed attempts to talk." Because she does. I'm trying to watch a film and it's... Because she gets bored halfway through.
That film was on 4 hours.
Yeah, we watched Fire and Ice, or whatever it was. Fire and Ash, rather. The Avatar film yesterday.
And it was long.
They could have cut at least an hour and a half out of that and still told the same story. It's good, but bugger me, it's long. And she can't sit still long enough to freaking see the end. I think I'll end this now. Okay, boys and girls. Cherish your thoughts, but as always, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all next one. Okay, guys, a quick interlude, because I'm asked on pretty much every video a couple of questions. Who do I use and what platform do I use to build small accounts? Well, it's very simple. I come to BlackBull because you can trade with any amount of money that you choose. You've got over 26,000 products. So if you're Forex, indices, shares, commodities, you're going to find it. And they've got excellent world-leading leverage, which you can use to open up an asset and get your positions in. And also the spreads are fantastic. These are the companies that I use to build up. From here, I take it over into the fivers. I have never had a problem getting paid off these, as you can see. And one of the beauties of the Fivers at the moment is they're introducing new programs and platforms all the time. They've now recently come back over into the US, so you guys can now take advantage of the prop. And you've got C Trader, and you've got the 3 programs here to choose from, which are very cost effective. Now, to give you an example, there's an account there, 157. You might be thinking, wow, what's that got to do with anything? Well, it is BlackBull, but let's see where it came from. Well, if I take this right to the very top, you'll see it started with £15, and then there's all of the trades running through. Don't get it right all the time, but running through £142 worth of profit, giving me 157. Well, if that's the case, I can now go and buy a prop fund and then feed those funds back into the live to push it forward. Now, if you're interested in any of these, come along and visit my website. You will see everything that I do, and there's extra discounts and exclusive links for both the companies. And both companies use the following platforms, which is TradingView, CTrader, and MetaTrader. My personal choice is MetaTrader, but it's all there for you, so you're on the same page, whichever.
I'd buy that for $1.
Good luck. Catch you soon. Let's get back to the video.